Dear UPSC aspirants, viewers, and the subscribers, welcome to the IAS Mentor. The objective behind this particular video is to share my experience, my plan, and my strategy that helped me in securing 200 marks in the UPSC personality test. I thought it is part of my responsibility to make this video so that it could be really beneficial to the students who are planning to appear for the UPSC personality test, which is starting from 7th of January 2025 and it continues, I think, till April 17th, 2025, approximately around for a period of 3 months. Now, the biggest problem when it comes to UPSC personality test is there is a lot of myths and lot of unclarified questions that is surrounding. What helped me personally to score well in the examination is I could meticulously plan my preparation just like you would prepare for your prelims and the mains examination. I was able to plan even for my personality tests, and that really helped me to score more than 70% of the marks, which I can put it in the absolute figures is 200 marks is what I got in my civil service examination 2013. I got 198 marks in my civil service examination 2016, and of course I also got 140 marks out of 200 in my CAPF examination 2009. That means consistently I was able to get more than 70% of the marks. And if you go by the data as to how UPSC awards the mark, most of the candidates who appear for the examination, their marks is in the range of 50 to 60%. That's a median range. And the students who get less than 40% of the marks is one extreme, and the students who get more than 70% of the marks is another extreme. So if you have to get more than 70% of the marks, it is really doable, but of course you'll have to plan for it. You need to have a plan or a strategy by which you will achieve that. So it is not that you'll have to follow the same strategy that I would be discussing which work for me, but probably you could improvise on that. Probably you can add or delete certain things as a part of what I discuss, but definitely it is going to be very beneficial to the most of the students. So that is the reason I wanted to discuss my plan. And if you look into my plan or my strategy, I divided my preparation for the UPSC interview into 4 stages. Now the first stage is what is called as understanding the UPSC personality test. When I talk of understanding the UPSC personality test, means basically you should understand as to how is the UPSC interview conducted or the personality test is conducted, who will be there, probably what kind of questions you can expect, and not necessarily what kind of questions you can expect, but probably you should also have an understanding what is expected from you as a candidate, and that is very, very important. So having an understanding of all these things is the basis of your entire preparation. Otherwise your entire preparation will be directionless in the first place. So that would be the first part. And then the second part of my plan was, or I would say the second phase is the preparation phase. Now once you understand as to what is expected from an UPSC personality test, then how do you prepare for it? How do you improvise, or how do you accumulate the knowledge that is required? How do you carry forward the personality that you want for the interview? So these are all the second phase, which is basically the preparation phase. Now the third stage which helped me during my interview preparation is what is basically called as the performance stage. Performance stage as in, I mean that on the actual day of the personality test, how do you conduct yourself? And that is very, very important. Now whatever effort that you have put till this point of time, be it 1 year, 2 years, or it may vary from student to student, but all those things come to a logical conclusion on the day of what is called as the personality test. And every candidate is given approximately half an hour wherein you will have to display yourself, and wherein you will have to convince the board that yes, you are a suitable candidate for civil service. So in the performance phase, I will discuss about especially the do's and don'ts, probably that how you should conduct yourself, how you should not conduct yourself, and that also plays a very important role in the entire preparation, in the entire personality test. And of course, there's also one important thing that is relevant to all the 3 stages that I've discussed, is what is called as, there's a lot of myths that is surrounding UPSC personality test. There's a lot of questions that is unanswered, and the students do have a lot of confusion as to the variety of questions that comes into their mind. So clarifying these questions and myths related to the personality test is also very, very important when it comes to your preparation. So these are the 4 phases that I thought during my preparation, and I worked on each and every phase, and therefore it also helped me to secure that 200 marks or 70%, above 70%, whatever it is, to come in the extreme on the positive side. So which I feel that this experience could also help a lot of other students, and that's the reason probably I wanted to make this particular video. So today, as a part of this particular video, I wanted to discuss the first phase or the first stage of my preparation. That is basically what is understanding what UPSC personality test is. And to understand the UPSC personality test, let us also try to have a basic idea, a fair idea as to what is the structure of this UPSC personality test. When you talk of the structure of the UPSC personality test, that how many boards are there, what type of members sit there, how many members will be there. So this could give a rough idea to the students who may not have any idea as to the UPSC personality test, who has not even gone to the UPSC personality test till this point of time. So the number of boards in a given year might vary. It can be 4, 5, 6, whatever it is, depending upon the number of candidates appearing for the examination, the personality test, depending upon the time duration within which they have to complete the process. But however, UPSC has fixed this, that every personality test, whenever a candidate goes, they have to face a board of competent persons where it will have 5 members. And out of these 5 members, one person who is sitting in the middle of that particular board is usually considered to be the chairman or the president of that particular board. And he is usually the permanent member of the commission. And you might know that as per the Constitution of India, the president is the one who will appoint the chairman and the members of the Union Public Service Commission, but there's no fixed composition. So whatever be the members, every member of the commission will act as the president of a particular board. But apart from the president or the chairman of the particular board, who is usually a permanent member of the commission, there will be 4 advisors. They are all called as advisors. And what is the background of these advisors? If you see normally the background of these advisors, so normally out of these 4 people, 2 people are usually from a very senior position in the government. Usually they are in the rank of secretary to the government of India, or the chief secretary to the states, or probably the rank of DGP level officers in police service or equivalent service in other central service. So a couple of people in the board, advisors in the board of this particular range. And then one person in the board is usually an academician. So probably he is a professor or someone who is a researcher, a scholar in certain areas. So usually they are preferred. And apart from that, usually another person is usually a technical person, which means he might be a technical person in the areas of finance, or probably in the areas of scientific studies, or probably in the areas of management, or probably from an engineering background. So if you look into the board of competent people, there's a lot of diversity in this particular board. That means you should have an understanding that the variety of questions that may be pointed to a candidate when they go to the interview, it can be a wide variety of questions. So that is how you'll have to be prepared yourself when you go to the interview board. So that doesn't mean that you should answer all the questions. So that also will understand as to what is the basic expectation from a candidate. But as it has been given in the UPSC notification very clearly says that any candidate who will go for the interview will be assessed by a board of competent individuals, in fact unbiased board of competent individuals. So there is going to be a variety of questions, there's no doubt in that. So this is something that you should be mentally prepared for. Now the second thing is that what is required in the UPSC interview, what is the expectation in the UPSC personality test. Most of the students may not have a proper understanding, and this is very, very important, because if you look into the UPSC notification very clearly states that the interview is not going to assess the specific knowledge of an individual or a specific skill set of an individual. That is not the objective of the interview. In fact, the UPSC notification clearly says that the personality test is not a strict cross examination to assess a specific skill set or an intellectual caliber of an individual, but rather the UPSC interview is a purposive conversation that is conducted by a board of competent observers in fact unbiased competent observers, in order to assess the individual on his personal attributes as to what extent he is suitable to be a future civil servant. And in fact, this is the objective, or this is the mindset that you have. That means UPSC board is not expecting you to be an extremely intelligent person, or UPSC's interview board is not looking for you that you have a lot of skill set probably in a specific area, but they are looking at you as to what kind of personal attributes you have, which will make you a better civil servant, which will make you a career civil servant in the future. For example, how good are you in terms of honesty and integrity? Probably how good are you in your leadership skills? How good are you in social cohesion? Are you empathetic enough to take care of the needs of the people? So these are all some of the attributes. And apart from that, what is the variety or the depth of interest you have in variety of areas? Are you curious enough to understand and know what is happening around you, which you can implement as a part of the administration that can really help the people in terms of the welfare services that probably you may have to provide in the future. So the UPSC interview is not strictly about assessing your, I would say, skill set, or assessing probably what is your intellectual caliber, which I would say has been already tested in the other stages of the examination. But here it is strictly assessing, trying to assess what is called as your personal attributes. So unless and until you display that personal attributes to the members and they are convinced that yes, you are a good material to be a future civil servant, or you are a fit person to be a good civil servant, then your chances are not that bright. But if you are able to display these qualities, then your chances are bright to get the best marks in the interview test. So that is why when I also talk based on my experience as a faculty now teaching for the UPSC aspirants for more than 8 years, so many students do come and they say that they have answered most of the questions, and then probably despite that their marks has been very average. The problem here is that unfortunately the board was not convinced, or the board was not able to see these qualities that they are looking for. Alternatively, there are a lot of students, they also come, not lot of students, some of the students do come, they also say that they were not able to answer few questions, but still they end up getting good marks. It is because they were able to display the qualities actually the board is looking for. So it is very important from the candidate's point of view whether you are able to display the qualities as to what they are looking for. This is the first thing that probably you'll have to keep in your mind. So understanding as to what the personality test is all about. And that's why if you see the word interview is not much used when it comes to the UPSC personality test, but rather they use what is called as UPSC personality test, and nowadays they also put what is called as interview within bracket, but more often it is referred to what is called as a personality test, because there's a difference between when we talk of what is called as a personality test and what is an interview. An interview is more pointed towards assessing the skill set, the experience of an individual in a specific area, whereas a personality test is more towards assessing the personal attributes of an individuals. And the personal attributes in terms of whether those personal attributes, whether those aptitude and attitude will help him in performing a specific task or a duty in the future. So that is basically the first understanding you should have. So the first understanding you should have is what is expected from you as a candidate appearing for the civil service. Are you able to display your qualities like honesty and integrity? Are you able to express your confidence? When I say confidence, again it should not be overconfidence. Are you smart, at the same time humble enough in front of the board? Are you willing to accept your limitations? Will you be able to display leadership qualities and social cohesion, your ability to work in a team? So these are all some of the qualities probably you will have to display within the time, and the board will give you sufficient opportunities to display you these qualities by framing you pointed questions at you. And where these questions are likely to come, again as I said, because there's no limit to what kind of questions they can ask you, but most of these questions are likely to come from your DAF, that is your detailed application form. So that is what will take us to our next phase of the preparation, that is what is called as the preparation phase, where I'll also discuss as to how you can plan your preparation phase, but I'll do it in the next video, where I'll discuss how you can prepare on your detailed application form, where most of the questions are likely to come in your personality test. But however, I'll do that in the next video. If you have any questions or queries related to the personality test, you can reach out to me through my Instagram account or through my Telegram channel, or alternatively you can also fill in your details in the Google form that is given in the description below, and that is also a way that you can reach out to me. Thank you very much. All the very best. Keep watching.